Before Michelle Obama headed to New York for the final presidential debate, I spent time with her on the campaign trail in Indiana. While Senator Obama is ahead in the polls, in my exclusive interview, Mrs. Obama said they're not taking anything for granted. Do you think the race is his to lose at this point?
You know, as far as I'm concerned, Barack has been and will continue to be the underdog until he's sitting in the White House. You know, a guy named Barack Obama, who is a young, beginning to be known candidate, is always an underdog. Barack was an underdog in every race that he was in, and if you remember, it seems so long ago, but you know, 15 months ago, when he was in the middle of a primary, when he first decided to announce, no one thought that he had any shot at winning this thing. And that's essentially how we've spent the last 20 months, really being reminded how long a shot this has been.
The polls don't show that he's an underdog. In fact, our latest poll shows he's up 14 points.
Yeah, well.
Do you wish the election was tomorrow?
I wished it was last month. You know, we have never focused on polls because there were polls that showed that he was 14 points down, and so things change. We've got 2.5 weeks to go, and things can be so fluid.
Senator Obama is measuring the drapes.
You're not measuring the drapes?
No.
What did you think of that?
That's funny, because that's just not the mentality. The focus right now isn't measuring anything, but it's measuring how many people are registering and how many people are voting early. I mean, that's really our primary focus.
What concerns or doubts do you think voters still have about your husband?
You know, I think that people are still the people who are undecided, I think probably know the candidates, and they have to determine, you know, what issues really matter to them. And as people start tuning in, if they haven't, and they really understand the differences in the policies, they'll find that Barack's point of view is really going to move this country in a different direction.
Do you think at the end of the day it will be a decision based solely on the difference in policy, or are there other concerns that you just can't fight? For example, somebody who won't vote for him because he's black.
You know, there'll always be people who won't vote for Barack Obama no matter what, but there are also people who will not vote for John McCain no matter what. That's always the case in politics. There are people who are diehard Democrats who will never vote for a Republican and vice versa. But that's not what that's not ever how we've thought about this race.
What do you say to the voter who's concerned that he's too liberal, the voter who even throws the word socialist out there?
I think Barack's campaign really reflects, you know, a broad ideology of this country. And I would urge people to look at that and also, you know, understand the positions where he is on the issues that they particularly care about, to know where he stands as opposed to making an assumption that he's a liberal or a socialist or what have you.
Is there any label that people place on him that makes you angry?
You know, I don't spend a lot of time on anger. You know, it's just not a useful emotion. I'd have to say that, you know, my job is just to make sure people know the Barack Obama that I know. And that's what I'm doing. I'm here in Indiana as I've been traveling all across the country, just giving people the perspective on the Barack Obama that I know.
Tell me how you juggle that. How do you juggle campaigning with parenting?
I'm probably doing what every parent that I know is doing. I rely on the support of family and friends when I'm not there. And I do my best to really make my schedule work around my home life. So all throughout this time, I've really managed to keep my travel down to a day trip and one overnight a week, and sometimes less than that, but rarely do I travel on the weekends. And when I'm gone, my mom, fortunately, is there to help me with the girls so that their lives stay fairly consistent.
What will you be doing on November 5th?
Oh gosh, I hope, okay, this is my vision. The kids will probably go to school because they'll want to. So Barack will get to sleep late. I'll get up, I'll take the kids to school. I won't go to work out, I'll come back in and we'll be at home all day.
celebrating, she says, no matter who wins. But she went on to tell me, Harry, that they're not convinced, but they're planning on a victory on Election Day. And in fact, she went so far as to say that they're actually looking ahead to 2 victories. You'll see that tomorrow in part 2 of my interview.
It's so interesting to watch her, and I wonder if it would be possible to ask, can she dream of what that day after the election day is like, and the day after, and the day after? And I suppose we'll hear a little bit of what's on her mind in terms of how would you live in the White House with kids.
You'll hear more about that tomorrow as well.
All right, terrific.